Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this evening's meeting to order for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, Chambersburg Area School District Board of Directors meeting. If you would, please rise and join me for a Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Prior to this evening's meeting, the board did have a brief executive session to discuss legal matters and personnel. Item 2.03, a motion and second, please, for approval of tonight's agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Haydick, second by Mrs. Gogler. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Before I go to 3.01, just for information, Dr. Diller, I believe, Dr. Diller, are you online this evening?
I am.
Okay, Dr. Diller is joining us remotely this evening. I will try to remember to pause because I know there's a delay in the voice system.
Thank you.
Item 3.01, Superintendent's Report.
Okay, Mark, this one's for you, buddy. So it's been a long time coming. So we pulled some money and got you a nice parting gift from the district administrator. We know you're going to travel, so come on over here. You deserve this. You've worked for the district for 30 plus years, haven't you? Yeah. Almost your entire career in Chambersburg School District. Served multiple boards, multiple administrations, and your time has come. So we thought we'd get you some relaxing travel gear for you. A little bit of Chambersburg with your name on it and a bag, and we hope you have safe travels, Mark.
Thanks, appreciate it very much.
Congratulations. I want to say a few words.
So thank you. I am taking a trip to South Dakota to see a big ranch that I haven't seen yet,
Okay.
so I'll be using that. Yes, it will. But I just want to say thank you to everyone here. The district has been my life for 30 years. Prior to that, it was another career in mechanics. But, you know, I got to be with kids, and that's what the most important part was, making a difference within their lives. And every time you made a difference in one, they returned it to you, too. So thank you so much.
There is more to come inside the district, like embarrassing videos and pictures, but we're not going to do that for the public, Mark.
Did you tell them that's full of money?
End of report, Mr. Norcross.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bigger. Thank you, Dr. Long, and congratulations on your upcoming retirement. As I tell everyone who retires, just straight out honest with you, I'm just jealous. It's all there is to it. But I hope I get there someday myself, so I'm happy for you. Thank you. Item 3.03, President's Report. First, I'd like to thank Mrs. Gogler for running the meeting 2 weeks ago as I took a little R&R. And then my report, I'll just wait till we get down to 13 new business. Just talk a little bit about the presentation from 2 weeks ago from Mrs. Stauffer that was, on the heels of the one from Mr. Fry. And just like share some of my comments with the board and hopefully get a robust board discussion on our next steps with a lot of data that we've all received. I did meet with Mrs. Stauffer and Mr. Bigger Friday this week and went over it myself because I did some reading on the airplane, but I had a lot of questions. So sat down and went over it, and as always, I read it and I come up with more questions. But we'll talk about that more in item 13, New business. Item 3.04, NJROTC report.
Good evening. Just real quick before Cadet Kaiser takes over, I want to take a moment just to update the board. I let Mr. Bigger know already and Ms. Luffy. But about 11 days ago, there was an incident at Old Dominion University, specifically targeting the college ROTC program there. Immediately, the Navy suspended the wear of uniforms by high school cadets. Not because there's a suspicion of any danger, but it was out of an abundance of caution to prevent a high school student from being mistaken for an active duty military person and prevent any physical or verbal inappropriate behavior from someone. So my guess is this policy will remain in place for the rest of the school year. We have had a relaxation now. We can go back to wearing our Chambersburg logo gear. And for special events, Mr. Bernays has the authority to authorize uniforms. So like for our ball, there are some very specific restrictions on it, but you will not probably see cadets in their actual uniform again for the rest of the year. It's not because there's anything wrong here in Chambersburg. I have no suspicion that our cadets would face a problem in Chambersburg, but it is a nationwide policy. So that is a reason you won't see the cadets in uniform for the rest of the year. I just wanted to explain that and take that weight off of Cadet Kaiser's shoulders.
Thank you, Commander.
All right, hello, I'm Cadet Kaiser. I'm currently a cadet ensign and platoon commander of the Caches NJROTC program. I'm going to be talking to you guys tonight about just a basic overview of the program. So this year's mission statement developed by our leadership is to strengthen the foundation of character through self-discipline, respect, service to others, and camaraderie in order to earn the title of Distinguished Unit and with confidence and integrity. That was developed by our current company commander, Cadet Jameson Jacka, as well as our current XO, Cadet Cadet Kiefer Fanny. So just give you guys a quick timeline. So over August, we did basic leadership training for the NS2s and above, as well as a new cadet orientation for the incoming NS1s. In October, we run the Caches Veterans Night for football. And then in November, we ran the Veterans Day Parade. In December, we hosted Trojan Wars, as well as went to the Chambersburg drill meet. In January, we qualified for nationals at the Area 3 drill, as well as hosted a drill meet. In February, we attended the Area 3 Academic, Athletic, and Drill Championship, which we took first place in. And then in March, we had our area manager's inspection, which is a big formal march and review as the area manager and other VIPs attend. In April, our current drill team is going to be traveling to Pensacola to go to the nationals competition. And in May, we're going to have our military ball and our death march, which signifies the end of the year, as well as our transition to new leadership. Just to give you guys a quick overview of our program. So currently we have 152 cadets throughout 4 grade levels and from 6 schools within our district. We do a lot of community service for the community, and our cadet average is 22.7 hours. So just these are all of our teams that cadets are encouraged to participate in. So Color Guard is extremely formal drill. We attend multiple high-level events and things like that. Last year, I believe we went to the, indication of the Attorney General, I'm pretty sure. The inauguration of the Attorney General. Our drill team is attending nationals this year, and they're very good. They've won almost all of their competitions. Armed exhibition is going to be exhibition drill with rifles, and then unarmed is going to be exhibition drill without rifles. Orienteering team is marching through the wilderness in order to accomplish objectives, and then marksmanship is our rifle champions. Drone team is the cadets' experience with STEM as well as Cyber Patriot. Academic team, or otherwise known as Brain Brawl, is just basic knowledge throughout Navy and American history. And then our PT team is our exercise and gymnasium team. NS1 squad drill is drill for the NS1s, otherwise known as the first year cadets. And they're normally our best and brightest NS1s. And then this is the current mission statement developed by next year's future leadership. It's going to be to strengthen the foundation of cadet character through self-discipline, respect, service to others in order to earn the title of Distinguished Unit with confidence and integrity. So the vision is for every cadet to excel in life both within JROTC and beyond the union and increase the standard of leadership that we serve as a company. And our goals are to increase opportunities for individuals, set a higher expectation for leadership, and develop our rotation for each cadet. So big events to look forward to coming up is going to be nationals for our drill team, the Death March, which signifies the end of the year, and the military ball, which is a big celebration at which we present individual awards to cadets and things like that. Thank you. Oh, also, our academic team is also going to be attending nationals in May. Congratulations to them. They're doing really well this year.
I've got a question for you, young man. So am I correct that the venue for the Death March is no longer where it was? It's going to be at Caledonia now?
Did that say Caledonia? No, it will be it's going to be the same route, Mr. Hagan.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't catch that on the slide. It will be the same route we took last year. And
Roger that.
we're looking forward to you being there.
I'll be taking up the rear with all the other slowpokes, if there are any.
Any further questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. CMS student report. Did you bring your medals to show off?
I did not, but there's another opportunity coming up.
Okay.
So that
Bring it
brings
up.
me perfectly into my first slide here, which is career tech news. So the exciting thing is, oh wait, do I get to control it? I do. Okay. So career tech news. So we just had Skills USA districts take place in January, and we had 10 students out of Chambersburg, out of CMS, that placed first in districts. So now they get to go to states, which will be held April 8th to the 10th at the Lodge. And if they win there, they'll get to go on to nationals. So we're excited about that happening. So I get to go once again, and it's fun that my sister now gets to carry the tradition. We also just had 5th grade tours. So then 5th graders throughout the district and the county get to come in, tour the shops, get a little bit of interaction with some of the shop students. So then that gets them thinking, what do I want to do? Does landscaping interest me? Does auto repair interest me? So just getting them started with that. And then on another note, just yesterday, me and about 5 other Chambersburg students, as well as Waynesboro students, went up to Harrisburg and got to speak to Representative Kaufman, Senator Mastriano, and there's one more representative that represents the Waynesboro area, that part of Franklin County. Sorry, what's that? Yes, Chad Weichert. Thank you, Representative Chad Weichert. And just promoting funding for CTE programs, specifically Franklin County, because unfortunately, out of 900 applicants that applied to Career Tech this year across the county, only about 500 got in, so that leaves 400 students without a spot or waitlisted. And so they're looking to open up a new shop, which is the industrial paint industry. And due to funding and some other things, they are not able to open that up yet. So we are up there asking, getting their input of what they can do, how they can help us. So we're looking forward to seeing that move forward and allowing more students to get in to better prepare them for their future and their interest in life. Moving on to student life. We once again had a CARES Day. So students were cleaning lockers, making notes for people maybe in retirement homes or teachers around the district. Also, there was a group of students that went to South Hamilton Elementary School. So then they took 4th and 5th graders, and then there was 4 rotations of like STEM-based activity that they got to interact with. So each of the 4th and 5th grade classes got to rotate through there. Along with then Mr. Foltz took a group of students downtown, walked through downtown, didn't get to go inside any buildings, but was just going over the history of downtown, because Chambersburg is very rich in its history, Civil War era, stuff like that. Moving on, student highlight, Malia Briggs finished 2nd in the state in bowling. And just to note that last year, she was trying to repeat this year as she placed 1st last year, but we're still really proud of her at competing at the state level, and that is a accomplishment that we're proud of her for. Moving on, Prom is coming up here quick. Unfortunately, graduation for me is coming up quick. And so finally, prom is here. That's going to be the 25th of April. So we're planning that. This year, it's not going to be held at Green Grove Gardens. It's going to actually be held at the Orchard, which is slightly different from last year, but we're looking forward to the new venue site and what this will hold for us. And please note, CMS students, ticket sales start the 7th, so make sure you buy your ticket. The robotics clubs, as you remembered before, I mentioned about them preparing, planning, building, partnering with YB Welding. And so now they went to Westmoreland College just about 2 weeks ago. As you can see, there's the group of them, and they placed first. And this is like preliminary, so this is, if you will, a scrimmage for them. So schools are able to come in, practice, see what they did wrong. And our robot, well, not my robot, sorry, the team's robot destroyed the other team's robots, as we have a beater bar on the front. So it was tearing off metal, things were flying. It was great. If you scan that QR code there, you get to see the videos of us flipping people. Well, not, I say us, it's not me, it's the team there. But them flipping robots, tearing off metal. And so now they get to compete in finals in April at Penn West, California. And so we're looking forward to that. And if you do scan that QR code, be aware that is my dad. He's a school teacher's personal account. So if you see Hans Lehman, don't be like, am I on the right place? You are.
We won't tell your dad.
All right. National Honor Society, we are collecting non-perishable items, toiletries, bedding, clothing, things like that to be donated to the Little Daisy's Closet charity drive that is located off of Orchard Drive in Chambersburg. So we're looking forward to being able to help that location there and being able to provide the people the necessities they need that they unfortunately lack due to whatever may be their circumstances. So we're looking forward to partnering with them and gifting them those items. We just started something new. It's the Wednesday Breakout Challenge. So every Wednesday, Mr. Barnaby, he posts a link for each class, and each class is now trying to break out of this quote-unquote room, if you will. And so last week, it was a code in which we had to figure out what the word was. And so each class has its own link, and by this, whichever class has the most students that crack the code, they get CMS-able points. And if CMS-able, if you don't know what that is our equivalent to Cash's Color Day. And so by us doing these CMS-able points, it's allowing the classes, sort of unify them throughout the year. A little bit of competition, but just trying to keep everybody involved, engaged. And then along with that, I believe the top 3 winners also get a little gift card as an incentive, because who doesn't love free money? Academic-wise, project-based learning, Mr. Fulch just did a newspaper across American History project. So what this was, these newspapers were from the 1800s, and I'm supposed to give a shout out to the Historical Society, Franklin County Historical Society, who donated these newspapers to Mr. Fultz for his class. So what the students did was they went back in these newspaper and were looking for prices like eggs, gas, movies, you name it. They were looking at that to now compare it to what the price of today is, to see how much, unfortunately things get expensive, but the difference there, and just to see how cheap you could get gas back in the day for a nickel or whatever it was. So that was a fun little project Mr. Fultz and his class did. Mr. Almer did a project-based learning, and so they read the Never Cry Wolf, and so what they did then was, off of this, was then they found environmental problems, and so they did research on that, and they were learning how to properly cite their sources, write up a little paper, and they gave a presentation to the class. So it got them learning how to properly cite, so whenever you get to college, you know how to do that properly, along with being aware of some modern day problems that we as a society face in the real world, and not just, here's a paper, read it, now you get to apply it, that, oh, this is actually a problem, here's how we can address it, and not just, typical read, spit back, and repeat. Coming up, Gettysburg trip is happening again. So the students that are now in Mr. Fultz's class get to go to the Gettysburg. We'll have some intramurals coming up. Senior send-off for seniors is coming up, so we're looking forward to that event where all the seniors gather together. We also got Baccalaureate on May 21st, so I'd love to invite you to come out to that. It's a wonderful time of worship, along with then CMSville, which I said is the equivalent to Cash's Color Day, and then, of course, then graduation. That is all I have. I know I just spit out a lot at you in a short period of time, so are there any questions about anything I said? All right. Thank
I
you.
wanted you to go back to slide 1. I don't want to put pressure on you, but
Oh, boy.
explain the success that you all had last year at Skills USA. What,
So last
everyone
year-
medaled, right? Or
I'm sorry.
everyone brought back a medal?
Everybody brought back a medal. So last year in
National
June,
medal.
at the national level, 5 students went, 4 of which were Chambersburg students, me being one of them. I feel bad bragging on myself, but I was one of them. And there was one from graphics, communication, and then the rest of us were from landscaping and horticulture. I gave a presentation on sex. Now, before you're like, whoa, it was the asexual and sexual propagation of plants. And then the team competition talked about their Teens and Greens location out along Molly Pitcher Highway, which is the student-ran retail store. Man, I'm stuttering over my words here. Where they sell plants that we grow in the landscaping class out of our greenhouses. So put on your calendars. That opens up April 13th, and we'd love to see you spend some money there. Sorry, I'm a horticulture student, so if my advisor hears I don't advertise, he might have my head. But the success there was great. All of us brought back a medal, 1 through 3. And so we're hoping there's about 25 of us going to districts this year, not districts, going to states this year. And so we're hoping for 25 to go to nationals and 25 to bring back a national medal. But Franklin County is really competitive in Skills USA compared to the rest of the state. And our district is definitely one of the more tougher districts to compete out of, which just goes to show the testament and dedication that Franklin County students have. And not to mention the fact that all the advisors that help us with, along with Roy and Roberta Johnston, who are retired tech teachers there, they absolutely deserve a shout out because all the time they put into us, and they're retired and absolutely don't have to help us, but they do. So that's Skills USA. And yeah, any other questions? All right. Thank you.
I knew you could handle it.
Thank you and have a great evening.
Cash's student government report.
All right, hey everyone. My name is Gabe Cieza. You might not recognize me because usually I have my counterpart here, Mr. Amr Hassan. I am a senior and I am the student government vice president. Okay, let's see how this. So Amr and I have been working on this for quite a while now. Amr is out of town. He's traveling the world. I don't know where he is, so we all gotta, pray for him. Okay, so I love to talk. A lot of what we're talking about, I am very, very passionate about, especially getting into the back end of this. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to say something. All right. Okay, so we're starting off with the Cash's Blood Drive. Now this is one of the most successful things that we do, and just shows the, it shows the opportunities that our school has to offer. For example, we have, this is probably one of the most, excuse me, sorry. I'm trying to get my numbers straight because I've got a lot. Usually, this is one of the most talked about things. People of all areas get to come together and help. All right, so teachers, students, everyone comes and helps, and we successfully got 32 donations, which is very good. It's going to help people who really need it, and yeah, I'm very excited that we get to do this and continue this. Okay, another good thing is the 12th annual Hoops for Heart. Now this is run by Miss McFadden, and she's a Cash's fitness and wellness staff member. And everything goes to the American Heart Association. So what this is, it's a 3v3 basketball tournament, which it's very fun. It's very, if you guys have, guys are into basketball, this is one to watch. We raised a total of $4,107.77 to go to the American Heart Association. I'm so proud of the work that we're doing. This is something that is always growing every year. Everyone in the school comes to support us, and yeah, it's a great way to show Cash's initiative and the opportunities here at Cash's. The day accumulated in every year there's a student versus faculty basketball match, right? And I think it's a pretty big thing. A lot of students come and watch it. The students proved, guys, the faculty won, the teachers won. This was a hard a hard battle, but we.
Carl's watching it now.
Oh yeah. So in years past we smoked them. So I think next year, obviously I won't be here. Some of my friends are going to have to show them, really. What the students are capable of. But yeah, so congratulations to the teachers who won this time. Yeah, so, okay. All right. So, this is sort of a two-part thing, but United Way Week was from the 9th of February to the 13th of February. If you look at the pictures here, you see my counterpart in the blue jacket, Mr. Amr Hassan, and you see me in the center. So what this was, and the pictures are, depicting this. We allowed free entry to a basketball game if people, gave us cans. So I think it was either 2 or 3 cans, and we raised a total of 500 cans to go to 2 organizations. Now, the first organization was United Way. So half of that, 250 cans, went to United Way. 250 cans went to something that I'm going to mention a little bit later. But yeah, we got to speak at halftime for the United Way mission, and we also did a raffle for the people that donated stuff. I think it was if you donated over 10 cans, you were put into a raffle, and you won a gift card. So that was pretty fun, and I hope to continue that in years in the future. Okay, all right. Now, you guys may know someone by the name of Parker Christoffel. He sits at the very front. Parker is a 10th grader. Right now, student government we are in our election period right now, right? Where we get the people who are interested in, becoming an officer, whether it's president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. And what they do is they apply for the spot, and after Easter break, they're going to be they're going to be voted in. So Parker right here, he is at almost every school board meeting. You guys probably recognize him, have talked to him. He's running for vice president, which will next year, the year after, he will be president. So if you're voted in as vice president for your junior year, the year after, your senior year, you're president. This year, we had a vacant spot. The vice presidency was vacant, so I took that role. It was, so it gave me the opportunity, again, to work with Amr and to work, with student government to do things throughout the school. That being said, I worked with Parker on this slide in this presentation. Parker is also a member of the ATSI steering committee. If you would give me 1 second. Okay. So the ATSI steering committee ATSI stands for Additional Targeted Support and Improvement. Our school is on that plan. And what this does, among many things, is it introduces us to the HERO program. And the HERO program, in many ways, works really by their acronym, HERO stands for Hardworking, Encouraging, Respectful, and Ownership. It allows students to become hardworking, become encouraging, become respectful, and shows them a sense of ownership within the school. So for our ATSI steering committee, getting down to the numbers, it's a 2-part meeting. The first part we had the 17th of February, Next month, the 22nd, we are going to be having our second part. The first part, we talked about numbers, right? Test scores, we talked about where our school was at. The next part, I personally think it's a little bit more interesting because we get to talk about the action, what the steps that we can take to ensure that these scores are higher, that our students are enjoying our school a little bit more, and that the Caches as a whole is a little bit better. So next meeting, I think Almer might be back, but we're going to get we have some good things coming. So we'll tell you about that next meeting. Okay. Okay. This is pretty much what I'm excited for. This is the Caches Cupboard. So for a bit of history, prior to COVID, the Caches Cupboard and the Caches Closet were established to try and provide food and clothing for those who needed it. Due to COVID and right around that year, it's sort of stopped. And we saw a need for it. Our elementary schools are all partnered with a church. And well, what that church does is it provides a backpack program for those elementary schools, right? So every Friday, a church will pack a number of backpacks for these students filled with food, filled with, and like really what they need to get them through that weekend, right? This is something that we have found we needed because, we haven't, it's, we're Caches. We are the next step for a lot of for these elementary schools, or, we have middle school and, high school. But we are going to be, truthfully, you don't stop needing, that program in elementary school, right? You're going to continue on, and hopefully we'll work with the people who may need it. So, through student government, as well as through the IB diploma program and a number of organizations and programs within our school, we are relaunching the Caches Cupboard. Now, in its earliest of stages, it's going to be a backpack program, similar to how the elementary schools are going to function. We're going to work to pack backpacks throughout the week, and every Friday we're going to be delivering them to points across the school or to a student's locker. So as of right now, counselors are able to refer students, have a talk with them, sit down, talk with students, and see if they need this opportunity, right? And if they do, they will be put in our program, and we will have the opportunity to help them. So that's at its baseline. That's what it's going to be. Here is the initial logo, as well as the new logo that we're working on. The initial logo was, again, before COVID. Another thing, in the backpacks, we are working alongside churches, organizations throughout the town, as well as a number of clubs that all provide food assistance. And in the backpack, we're going to be providing a pamphlet or a piece of paper which lists all of our partners, right? And not only listing our partners, it will show where they're located, it will show what they provide, to act as sort of a catalyst for the families of the students that we are working with. So again, initially we hope to provide the building blocks for a system which helps our students, because truthfully that's what Caches is. That's what Caches is about. And I think it's the final slide here. This is our location. It is located in the janitor wing, and it is actually the old location. It was just never used. There used to be a piece of paper that said "Food Pantry in Progress." That was there for the duration of my high school year. I wanted to see that torn down, and I'm glad to see we're finally making some progress with that. And I hope to give you guys some more updates in the future. Yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come. Do you guys have any questions? Does anyone have any questions?
Board members?
I just encourage all of you to look at the basketball slide or show. It's really, really fun to look at. Maybe not during the meeting, Carl.
That's,
Yeah.
board members, go ahead, Ms.
I do have a question. If somebody wanted to donate to the Cassius Cupboard, is there someone that they would contact? Is there something you can find online? Will that be available if it's not now? I know you're in the infancy stages, but just
Yeah.
looking ahead.
Well, yeah, that's a great question, and a number of people had the same question. As of right now, we have again, very, very early stages. We have what we need right now, but we are planning to open avenues for people to donate, because there are a number of people and who are interested in donating, and we see the value and need in donating. I hope by the next board meeting or the next presentation, we will give you a bit more of a concrete answer, and as well as everyone in the in the district. This is really, truthfully, this is only built by, it's built by students, right? So any ideas you may have, any questions are going to be essential in the success of something like this. So, yeah.
Will you eventually have the capability to accept monetary donations?
Yes, that as well,
Okay.
And in the future, we hope to encourage that, but again, we need to build the pathways for that to be possible, but yeah, yes.
For everybody's information, and I got this from the county. There are 19,000 people in need in this county out of 155,000. You can go home and figure out the percentage. It's quite a bit. So thank you very much
Yeah.
for doing this. It's needed. My husband and I also volunteer in food pantry, and we are seeing more people come in every week.
And yeah, that's the truth of it. Around 60% of our school qualifies for free and reduced lunch. So that is sort of why we're doing this. So again, thank you all for.
Board members, any other questions for
yeah.
the young man? Board members? Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
young man.
It's very nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Item 4.01, presentations. Mr. Woodman?
Yeah, if you direct your attention to the screens, we have 6 schools. We did it a little differently this year. 3 years ago, we had 2 schools that were recognized by U.S. News and World Reports. We brought the whole schools here. Last year, we had 4, and we had representatives from the schools here, and it really filled the room. So now that we have 6, we did something different. We went to the schools, and you'll see some really genuine smiles from our folks, and our principals got to unveil the banner for each one of the schools. So if Scott, if you'd slowly go through those screens. The first one is CAMS North. This one here is CAMS South. The next one is Guilford Hills Elementary, followed by Hamilton Heights. Then we have Marion, and lastly, South Hamilton. So it was a neat way to do it. The staffs were elated that it was unveiled at their schools, and all could participate in the pictures, and the principals could give a little speech, and they're very proud of their staff. So our congratulations again to our award winners.
Thank you, Mr. Woodman. Item 5.01, privilege of the floor. Members of the audience are invited to comment on agenda items. If you signed in, I'll give you an opportunity to speak first. If you didn't sign in, you'll still have an opportunity. Braden already spoke. He signed in to speak, but he spoke first. That was the young man from CMS. Valerie Jordan.
Good evening, everyone. The first item, it goes to you, Mr. Bigger, when you presented the luggage to Mark. Item 30.2 on the agenda, Mark Long. First, congratulations to this fine man on his retirement. Take up traveling in your spare time. You'll enjoy it. That's funny, because it's like great minds think alike. Item 4.01 on the agenda, award from U.S. News and World Report. Congratulations to the staff of each of these schools for being recognized by U.S. News and World Report. Item 705 on the agenda, payment of bills. I checked the list of bills noting fuel costs have gone up for everyone in this room. This is just common sense, Mrs. Jordan thinking maybe the administration should take another look at the grant for electric buses. You know I'm persistent. Item 8 on the agenda, old business. I did some simple math on moving the engagement center from its current location, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Based on the current budget, if a property owner is paying $5,000 in school taxes, and we have many of them in this school district, he or she will save a total of 70 cents. If the rent was reduced to $2,500 a month while not taking into consideration moving costs. Translation, it's not worth the effort. We can hire another teacher. We can't hire another teacher for that kind of savings either. And lastly, pretty much lastly, I'd rather build schools with 30-year bonds versus sending any one of our students off to a useless war, costing us all billions of dollars, $240 million versus $25 billion so far for each endeavor. Finally, kudos again to the students who protested against ICE, for the students who can't or won't speak out. Thank you.
Okay, there were no other members of the audience who signed in. Vice President also signed in, but they got a chance to speak to start with. Any other members of the audience like to comment on any agenda items? This is your opportunity. Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to consent agenda item 6. You know, as their consent agenda items, usually ask, you know, if there's any items that anyone would like to pull out separately, and therefore you could ask a question, we can discuss them. Otherwise, we do them all together. But I know committee of the whole, you did them individually. Does anyone want to do these individually, or would you like to keep them at the group? If you did it individually earlier, I don't want to deviate. What's your wishes? What are your wishes?
I think that's the reason for the committee of the whole, is to get that information that we've already gotten.
Okay, so we'll do them all together. Are there any of the items 6.01 to 6.10 that anyone would like to separate out? Okay, administration, any additional comments on item 6.01 through 6.11?
Just mark your calendars for graduation. Let us know if you can attend.
Okay. Hearing none, like a motion and second for item 6.11, which approves item 6.01 through 6.10. Motion and second, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Gogler, second by Mrs. Gauss. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Section 7, new items on the consent agenda. Since these items were not discussed, I guess, at committee of the whole, do you want to do these as a group, or would you like me to go through them individually? What are your wishes? Group them together? Okay. Are there any items that anyone would like to pull out separately? I'm going to have one I'm going to pull out, but I ask anyone else first. Okay, Mrs. Stauffer, just like to separate item 7.01, please, because I need to abstain from that. That's why we're pulling that out. But, here, administration, any comments or items to elaborate on? Okay, hearing none, like a motion to approve items 7.02 through 7.10 as presented.
So move.
Motion by Mr. McKee, second by Mr. Haydick. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Okay, motion and second for item 7.01, approval of minutes from the February 24th meeting and March 10th meeting. Motion and second, please. Anyone?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Harbaugh, second by Mr. Haydick. Yeah, I just asked this to be moved since I wasn't at the meeting. I'm going to abstain from this vote. That's why I asked for it to be separated out. So, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Mrs. Stauffer, I will abstain as I was absent. Item 10, finance and facilities, gifts, grants, and donations. Mr. Woodman, anything you would like to elaborate on, sir?
As I stated at the CAL, we would get some more items coming up, so just take a look at those. There's one big one there that I want to thank a couple people. Writing the PCCD grant, the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, is a grant that I write with Gary Carter, Bobby Stein from the business office, and Lindsay Leonard helps out quite a bit too. It's a pretty comprehensive grant that we have to meet a lot of criteria. We use about half the money for mobile therapists, and about half the money goes towards safety. That the state has a list of items that they would like to see that we support in safety. So thank the state for offering that grant, and I want to thank the folks for, it takes quite a bit of time to write that grant, and in the end, Bobby puts it together for us. So thank you.
Okay. Motion and second to accept our free money.
So move.
Motion by Mr. McKee, second by Mr. Raber. Any questions or discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Item 11.01, policies with no changes as presented. Policy 250, student recruitment. Motion and second. Motion by Mr. Haydick. Second, okay. All those in favor, or questions or discussions? Second by Mr. Piper. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Item 11.02, first reading of policies, policy 223, use of bicycles, scooters, e-bikes, and motor vehicles, policy 237, electronic communication devices. It might be for you, Mr. McKee. Item 354, employee use of electronic devices, or board members. Policy 611, purchased budgeted. Motion and second for approval of these policies on the first reading, please.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Harbaugh, second by Mrs. Gogler. Questions or discussions? All those in favor say...
I have a
Oh,
comment.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that's all right. 1102,
Which policy?
the 237, let's call it the cell phones, that's what it is. Thank you all for making the changes that were suggested. I think it's a good policy. In my experience, the policy is the easiest part of this whole process. I'm interested in knowing at some future date, sooner than later, how this policy touches the student handbook and puts it right up front, how it touches the student rights and responsibilities, that policy, Any other things that this touches, and I'm also really interested in how it's going to be expressed to the public, certainly to the students, but the parents, so that it's marketed properly, so there's no surprises, there's plenty of opportunities for people to make commentary, and I know there's a survey going out that's going to include a question about that particular issue. That's great, but I just want to make sure that the teachers or whoever is going to be required to implement it have some framework for how it's supposed to work, rather than just like on the fly, now it's happening. And I don't know who's responsible for getting the cell phone down to the office, but obviously it's very difficult for the teacher to leave the classroom to do that, so what provisions are being made for that? But you see, I can go on and on, I don't need to do that.
Why don't we do a short response, and then we'll work on a little more detailed of a response as we get to second approval.
Perfect, thank you.
Correct. So I would say that the high school administrative team agrees that communication is the first thing that we've got to do, and make sure that we're very clear with all of the stakeholders, parents, students, and also our staff. And when we talk about enforcement and the implementation of this, what does that look like, and how do we make sure that we are solid in our stance with that no cell phones are permitted during the school day, that we're a learning environment and an academic place. So obviously communication is going to be through our, parent newsletters and all of the, first day welcome back letters, our orientations that we have for our 9th grade students. Although we will recognize that our 9th graders from the middle school have gone to school without cell phones, so they are already used to that. It will be the 10th through 12th graders that we will have to have them relearn that process of not needing their cell phones during the school day. But also educating parents as well, and using resources that we have, like the Anxious Generation, and all the literature that's provided in there based upon the value of not having cell phones, and that the distraction that they truly are to students and their learning. So we recognize that we have got do a huge communication campaign for sure. And then we will be discussing as an admin team, both Cassius and CMS collaboratively, so that we use the same process at both schools.
Thank you, sounds like
Yep.
it's all over, appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Other questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of approving these policies in the first reading signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Okay. Item 13, new business. Board members, any new items, new business you'd like to bring up, discuss? Okay, I mentioned in my president's report, I'd wait till now to bring this up. Previously, I had indicated I was thinking it would be a good idea. I want everyone's opinion. With the presentations, the two most recent presentations we've had. First was Mr. Fry's on the borrowing, and then at our February meeting, and then 2 weeks ago, Mrs. Stauffer on the 3-year budget. I thought a month ago, I thought it'd be a good idea those would be 2 of 3 meetings. And then I would like to encourage that we have a 3rd meeting, a board workshop meeting. And there's a lot of data there. I had some questions with Mr. Fry. He helped me clarify it. As I said earlier, I sat down with Mr. Bigger and Mrs. Stauffer on Friday to go over the presentation that I wasn't here for 2 weeks ago. Had some more questions there. But, I always hate having these conversations in a vacuum. I prefer to have them in the public, especially when we're talking about 200 plus million, whether it's 240, 50, 60, or 70 million. So I don't think, Chris and I talked about this a little bit Friday, I don't think there's a real hurry to do it. But I think sometime, everyone gets busy over the summer maybe, but before we get to the fall, your thoughts on having a board workshop on basically giving some administration some direction on what borrowing scenario we'd like to use, what method how much we'd like to borrow, how much cash, no cash, and then also, discuss sequencing of advertising of the projects. So, board members' thoughts? Or Mr. Bigger, would you like to add maybe some, what you're looking to hear also?
The context you hit nail on the head is there in that September, no later than October, we're going to need direction pre-bid day. So that bid day is coming November, December, where we're ready to go out to bid. But I don't want to go out to bid without, obviously, your direction and approvals to make sure we're going down that right path. The only thing I'll say to the timeline, I think we might have to do it a little earlier than October, so August, July even. There are some Act 34 hearings which are going to push the envelope a little bit that are ahead of some of those approvals. So July, August, September, somewhere in that window where we can, and I think, if I remember correctly, you wanted just a special meeting only on the project. It wouldn't include anything else.
That was my thought. I mean, basically, we would devote that time, that meeting to schools of distinction
All things,
projects.
yeah.
Do we want to wait or do you want to do it sooner while the data is maybe a little more fresh? I don't, what's your preference?
More information, the better for me. It's a big project, and
Okay.
the more the better.
That's a great point, Mr. Piper. So I'll just encourage, as I said, like what I did Friday, I reread it over the weekend, and I have even more questions than what I had Friday, a couple more. So as you review that data and you have questions, reach out to Mr. Bigger.
Yep.
And just for instance, the one question I had, and Mrs. Stauffer answered it real good. I was very pleased with her answer. If you remember on her presentation, I think it was slide 4, and it showed a historical increase in the three big accounts: salaries, benefits, special ed. But it was from 20 to 24. And when you look at that and divide it by 5, then wow, it's not that bad. But since 24, those three have ramped up a lot higher. So I think that was shown on slide 9. So I asked, maybe take a look at slide 9 and expand that. And the 20 to 24 slides was great history, but unfortunately the trend since then has been steeper than what it was in 2024. That was just one of the dialogues that we had on Friday.
For me, it is a sense of urgency because we have to tell Mr. Fry, because if we're looking at borrowing, we start in October. And I'd like to know what that is before September. So for me, I'll look at the information, but the sooner that we can dig into that and have a pathway forward that, we think we can all get behind, or at least a robust discussion about it, it's gonna be beneficial. Because the longer we wait, the more challenging it's gonna be for everybody to start pulling triggers, so to speak. And I don't wanna put anybody behind the 8 ball. We need to stay as proactive as possible, in my opinion. And whatever questions we have, get to that workshop sooner rather than later, so we know what we're doing going into the fall, not playing catch up because we take some time off in the summer.
Well, and I think it's important that we all hear the same information rather than individually contacting Mr. Bigger with our questions. I think that as a group, we need to have that open discussion.
Have them prepared to come into that?
Right. I mean, maybe send those questions so that they're prepared for the questions that we have. But for each of us to get responses seems not to be time effective and,
Oh, for sure.
and so on.
Chris, would it be possible could you give us a date, have your questions in regarding this particular thing by such and such, because then you guys could actually cater what you're giving us to the questions collectively, because maybe some of us are asking the same things.
Agreed. I would say before the end of the school year, if we're going to do anything in the summer, it would be the latest, and there's plenty of time for you to start fostering questions, and then work on a date.
What if we could schedule an additional date, but what if we took either June or August and just condensed committee of the whole and board meeting into one, and use one of the existing already scheduled meetings as that workshop? Does that make sense? Or are you suggesting that
Do you see
I don't know
any
which,
in June?
I can't remember which month is lighter, June or August, but
Probably June,
July is August.
Yeah, I mean, end of
Late.
June would be good, you know, the end of the month.
because we'll do budget in June in the beginning.
Mhm.
so maybe beginning, we just stack both committee of the whole and regular board meeting in one night, is my idea.
What do you think, Ed,
Is that,
since you're the
is
one
that what
who
you were
suggested
thinking, or
this?
do
Well,
you want
I
to
just-
add a meeting?
It's up to you guys. I mean, adding a meeting is probably preferred
From you?
to the
Okay.
existing structure, yeah. I mean, just a special focus meeting. It comes with the attention of press, newspaper. It's all about just that project. It doesn't get buried in the rest of the, you know, cell phone discussions and other things that are distracting.
I think that typically we would have July off as a board, not to have a meeting, but I think this is important enough and that we could squeeze a meeting in July if necessary. I consider it like going to the dentist. I don't like to do it, but it must be done. So this is one of those things that what's coming up, this must be done, and sooner the better.
Would it be possible to do one of those calendars like Bev has done before with
Doodle
possible
poll.
dates
Yeah.
for like June or even reaching out into July? Is everybody okay with doing that ahead of time? I think August is still pushing us a little bit, and that might not be as fresh in our mind as what we have now. And what do you think about the timeframe?
Yeah, I'm one, sooner the better,
Okay.
while the date is fresh. And two, I know personally, July's a terrible month for me.
I would prefer probably sometime in June, end of June, whatever works.
Perfect, Sherry. Thank you for chiming in.
Yeah, I'm fine with June or July. My only concern is the summer months. If part of the goal of this meeting is to get folks to participate and show up, you know, it's a tough time for that. So if this is for the board, that can work. If this is for the public, less than ideal, but I think it could still work. I think it's just,
That's a very good point, Mr. Raber, and it's for both, but, you know, sometimes you can't please everyone all the time. It's primarily what I look for, what I was hoping for is a candid board discussion in public. And with our camera and technology, even if the public can't be here in person, they can hear us, they can record us and do whatever they want with us,
Quick question
good,
for
bad,
you.
or indifferent.
Sorry, Ed. Quick question for you, Tammy. Depending on how we choose to finance, will that affect the 3-year?
Not really.
Okay.
It
That makes,
will, it will affect the fund balances, it'll affect
Okay.
the debt service balance.
Mhm.
But again, as Mr. Baker and I were talking, if we go to the 293, the building of that debt service into the general fund budget is going to take longer. It would be out, I think, to 31, 32, until we actually have it leveled.
And I think the whole point of the workshop is, or we can make other decisions
Right.
to not send it out later.
Just for the public part of it, if, I think they'd be more interested in the budget part, if we're doing, still gonna be around that same time, that same, number with the 3-year budget, that would probably be more, not that they're not interested in the inner workings of the discussion, but at least if they have some stability in that, that's kind of what I was asking about there. Thanks, Tim.
And I left my papers out in my vehicle, but as Ms. Harbaugh brought up a great point earlier, our next borrowing is teed up for the fall, right?
Yeah, October.
But keep in mind, right, there's a series of 5 borrowings.
Depending on what.
You know, the first couple aren't gonna change.
Right.
What's gonna happen, we're gonna do something. We hope. We're gonna do something. It's gonna be, as we get to the end of that, do we keep borrowing? Do we stop and then use cash? I'll just throw it out for the board, just a thought I had and discussion the 3 of us had on Friday, that I would like the idea of the board setting not a locked in stone max, but set a high target for borrowing. And then, you don't always have to do the last one, or maybe you do half of the last one, depending on cash. It is a very, who knows what's gonna happen in the next 6 years.
If I remember correctly, those 3 scenarios, I think the difference was 10 million between the first one borrowing and then the other 2. I think it was like 80 million million if we did one, and then 70 million if we chose 2 or 3. So that's kind of why I was just thinking about earlier, because then we could give Mr. Fry, because that 10 million depending, and we can always change it, but at least we'd have a pretty solid footing on which way we want to go.
Okay, so I think I'm hearing, we'll do a doodle poll.
Yep.
And try to find,
Date in
June dates.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Any other items, board members?
Yeah, I have one. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, thank you. I happened to go visit the Walk to Read program at Fayetteville within the last 2 weeks or so, and I would like to say I was very, very impressed. This program's focused in kindergarten and first grade, and I visited a first grade class, and I was just amazed at how those kids were transitioning, and on the intervals of every 10 minutes, I thought that was entirely too short previous to going there, but it worked out beautifully. There was a lot of word work going on, a lot of literacy development, so I was very impressed. I would like to ask, though, that we get a presentation of what we're planning to do for second and third grade, because it's a K-3, and what I observed in third grade was basically large group instruction, even though some of the instruction was leveled according to some needs of kids, but they were in, large groups, full classroom size. So, if the board is interested in this and Superintendent Bigger, I would like to see what we could do to fine tune it in second and third grade, because I think it would truly make a difference. So just my thoughts, and I was really pleased that everything was scheduled for my visit. I was, like I said, I was very impressed with the level of instruction that was going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Diller.
Yeah,
Board member.
Mr. Piper and I went to Stevens last week and also observed and were impressed with the Walk to Read program. Just a question from the grant information that was on the gifts. Have we in the past put all of our grants on that list? I didn't think so. I think it's a nice idea, but if we're going to put one, we ought to put them all, because I would hope there's a whole lot more grants than that one, and I don't remember seeing other grants previous to tonight's listing.
I think some of them have been on just like as a separate item, like with the
Some the board has to
SBA
vote
grant.
on. That's
Yeah.
one, this is one that's reoccurring, that we get automatically if we meet all the criteria, like our $2.4 million grant that we got from the Bipartisan Safety Community Act, the board, that was a separate line item. So some are, depends on what we have to do, but I think Bobby put this one on because it's reoccurring.
Well, but I think there are grants that teachers get that we don't know about. Am I correct? From like the foundation and that type of thing. I think that we ought to have that information as it happens. Just a suggestion. The other thing I'd suggest that we look into is something that was in our PSBA winter bulletin relative to Ed's abstaining from voting on the minutes. According to the article on page 36, that's not necessary if the right policy is in place. I'm not sure if we have a policy, a local policy for that or not, but according to this legal brief, it's not necessary to abstain if the policy is so stated and so on. And so I think,
That'd be good to know,
Yeah.
because a lot of times I forget.
right, well, as
If we
I
have the
say,
policy, now I don't feel bad when I forget.
Yeah, well,
Even
like-
if we have the policy, if I remember, I'll probably still do it, just creature of habit. But it'd be great to have the policy as a safety net.
Dr. Diller's point, thank you for sharing that. I agree with her points. I think in regards to the grants and donations, I like the direction you're going. I wonder if the list gets long, though, should we split it into, it could be still one agenda item, but multiple tables. And then what was the third one? Oh, in regards to minutes, personally, I think I'm more comfortable if I've had the time to review the previous meeting, then I'm, I understand what you're getting at as well, but whereas if I wasn't there and I also didn't listen in at any point, then I'm really out of the loop. So how can you say, yeah, that's what happened?
The minutes are posted on our agenda
Sure,
days
yeah.
in advance if we read our agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Other items, new business, board members. Okay, information section 14.01 to 14.04. Chris and your team, anything to comment on there? Committee reports. Anyone like to add anything from your committee report?
I did get an email for LIU, and they sent us the comprehensive plan, 2024 to 27, so I'm gonna email that out to all of you so you can take a look at it. It has the goals, the things that they're looking at doing regarding some of the teaching, some of the things that they're doing, the early induction. I think, Kurt, are we using the LIU for the teacher induction stuff? Didn't mean to put you on the spot, but that just occurred to me because I saw that in our comprehensive plan.
The day one, the whole county of Franklin County is going to do. We are looking at right now. I'm meeting. Crystal Ottenslager and myself went up last week and met with Laura McCusker and Rebecca Gibney and her team. We are looking at doing a year 0 for our emergency cert folks, and then doing a year 1 and 2 possibly on our Fridays after our PD's over with those folks as well. The pilot that we ran with 6 of our emergency permit folks has gone really well, and they put together they worked with me and my team on putting together a plan for that. So I am looking at doing something with the LIU for induction, changing it up.
Yeah. And the email that I'll be sending out has the information there. It kind of walks you through what year 0 looks like, year 1. So you kind of know if we decide to utilize that, what that looks like. So the board has some information there. Also, they're still looking at the July 1 for the rollout of their new system. It's supposed to be a little more user-friendly for everybody. So those 2 things are going on. And we did pay off the line of credit that we had to use whenever the budget didn't come through. That was paid off pretty much as soon as the funds came out, and I think we ended up paying about $12,000 in interest, but that's the nature of the beast when you have to borrow money. So our next meeting is on the 7th, and I'll keep you updated on what's going on.
If you want to send the comprehensive report to Bev, she'll add it to the Friday folder for next week.
No
Save you a
problem.
few more clicks.
I can do that.
And for the Franklin Learning Center, the meeting last Thursday was not convened because we did not achieve a quorum, and it's being rescheduled for some date soon.
And the Career Tech meeting is this Thursday night.
Oh, Faye, Ben and I go to Career Tech, and thank you for setting us up with that with Leslie. We enjoyed that little trip that we got to take around and got to participate in some of their stuff, and yeah, it was pretty cool because it's there, but I didn't realize how expansive it had gotten over the years. So thanks for facilitating that for Ben and I since we couldn't make the big trip.
And I
Agreed.
saw you on Facebook.
Oh.
Jeez.
I haven't seen that.
You know why?
It was excellent. I'll second what Stephanie shared.
Best kept secret in Franklin County.
Best cookie, I will say that.
was
Ben
quite
and I got a
delicious.
little snack from the common report.
Yeah.
Okay. No other items? Meeting's adjourned.